afternoon everyone. Today is my topic is under property of virus of the virology. Myself Dr. Ullas as a assistant professor in microbiology. So objective of this is introduction of the virus, viral morphology and properties, and how they multiply, the viral multiplications, different method for isolation of the viruses. We know the detection method for the growth of viruses, what is the viral assay, classification of the virus, and viral genetics and its modification. But in this lecture, different methods is which are the lab diagrams we will discuss in next lectures. So first thing there is the various terminology are there like virus, virology, virus particles, virions. So what is the virus? Which are the genetic elements that cannot replicate independently of living cell. Another is a virology. Virology is the basic science for study of viral nature and the relationship between the virus and host. Then virus particles. What is the virus particle? Which are the extracellular form of a virus, which allow virus to exit outside host and facilitate transmission from one host cell to the another. And second is a virion, the infective virus particles. So these are the different particles and virions. So it's a infectious virus particles which the nucleic acid genome surrounded by a protein coat or the other layer of the material. Okay, so this is a infected part. So there are the various viral properties are there out of this, which are the inert, which means nucleoprotein is a filterable agent. We can be filter it. It is a obligate intracellular parasites. They cannot make energy or proteinaceous independent of a host cell. They have a viral genome or RNA or DNA, but never both. Viruses have a naked capsid or envelope with attached protein. So we will understand what is the naked capsid and envelope in next slides. Viruses do not have the genetic capability to multiply by binary fission and is a non-living entities. So here there is the difference between viruses and the bacteria. So in there is an intracellular parasite. So bacteria is not intracellular parasite except Rickettsia and Chlamydia, right? And viruses both are similar. Second is the genome. So both DNA and RNA present into the bacteria as well as Rickettsia and Chlamydia. But in a virus there is either DNA or RNA may be there. Passage through bacteriological filters. So bacteria cannot be filtered as well as Rickettsia and Chlamydia may pass through. And yes, virus can be filtered. Sensitive to antibiotics. So all the bacteria, they are sensitive to antibiotic except viruses. Sensitive to interferon. So over here we are using interferon into the viruses, not in a bacteria, Rickettsia and Chlamydia. So morphology, it is the smaller than the bacteria, has a smaller size, easily filterable, and cannot be seen in a microscope. We have to use electron microscopes. And largest form of virus, which are example, is the pox virus, having a 300 nanometer in size. And there's a smallest virus, which are the parvovirus. Its in size is 20 nanometer in size. So it is the smallest than bacteria. So here one of the example is that these are the bacterium is a 1 micron in a size. It will be in a micron, right? After that there is the chlamydia, then pox, herpes, influenza, and the picorna virus. So these are viruses are the smallest kind than this bacteria. So what is the structure of the virus? So over here there is a capsid. Is that the protein shell that surround the genome of a virus particle? We can see here, right? These are the capsids surrounding. These are the virus genome. Okay, so they composed of number of proteins molecule arranged in a precise and highly repetitive pattern around the nucleic acid. Another is a capsomere, is a subunit of the capsid. Yeah, you can see the capsomere. So these are the subunit of the capsid. It's the smallest morphological unit visible attached with the electron microscope. Then nucleocapsids, the combination of nucleic acid and the surrounding layer is a nucleocapsid, capsid and nucleic acid. The complex nucleic acid and protein package in the virion is a nucleocapsid. All that is a nucleocapsid. Then surrounded by the nucleocapsid, there is one of the layer is a envelope virus that is additional layer around the nucleocapsid is known as envelope. Right. So few viruses are the naked and few viruses are the envelope virus. So these are the difference. Okay. So these are the naked virus and these are the envelope virus. So nucleocapsid of the virus constructed in a highly symmetrical ways. The icosahedral or the helical or the complex are there. So icosahedral symmetry is a spherical virus, right? And it's the most efficient arrangement of subunit in a closed cell. So icosahedral. And helical symmetry, it is looking like a rod-shaped virus, like a tobacco mosaic virus is an example. And length of virus determined by length of the nucleic acid. So we can be measured by length in a helical symmetry. And another is a complex, which are the mix of the icosahedral and helical. Right. So over here cubic of the icosahedral symmetry. Right. So an icosahedral is a polygon with a 12 pentone fixed in number. The corner or vertices and 20 hexagons is a variable in number, sides and facets. So these are the example of icosahedral symmetry. So these are the list of viruses which are the icosahedral symmetry. These are the examples. Now helical symmetry consists of the multiple copies of a single polypeptide. As in a previous slide we explain you, we can be measured by the length. Okay. So it's a capsum here is a fossil in a nucleic acid bound together is a California encephalitis virus, coronavirus. These are example nowadays. Coronavirus inserted in over here in the world, the pandemic conditions. So it are the having a helical symmetry. Another is a hantavirus, influenza virus, measles virus, mumps, parainfluenza, rabies virus, respiratory, RSV virus, which are the in a helical symmetry. Now complex virus is a virions composed of several parts, each with separate step and symmetries. Example is a bacterial virus which contain icosahedral heads and helical tails. Is known as bacteriophage, which are the having a complex structure. Now we discuss about the envelope virus that I also told you is having a membrane surrounding the nucleocapsid. We can see over here the brown color. These are the membrane, right? Over here inside nucleocapsid, right? So these are the envelope virus, right? So it's a lipid bilayer with the embedded proteins on their head and make initial contact with the host cell. The function is antigenicity. Some virus causes a neuraminidase on this spikes, having an infectivity, and there are the resistant to the certain chemicals. So these are the envelope virus. Right. We can clearly visible it is over here. Then property of envelope virus, which are the labile in a dry environment. These are the very important. The damage by drying, acid, detergent and heat. Okay. They pick up new cell membrane during the multiplication, insert new virus specific proteins after the assembly, and virus is released by the budding. Right. There is different properties of the naked virus also. So property of naked virus, which are the stable in hostile environment, not damaged by drying, acid, detergent and heat. And there is difference in a envelope virus. They damaged by the drying, acid, detergent and heat. They released by lysis of the host cell, can sustain in dry environment, can infect the GI tract and survive the acid and bile, can spread easily via hands, dust, fomites, etc. Can stay dry and still retain infectivity. And neutralizing mucosal and systemic antibodies are needed to control the establishment of the infections. So these are the naked, means non-enveloped virus is adeno-associated virus, adenovirus B19, Coxsackie virus A, B, ecovirus, hepatitis A, hepatitis E virus, Norvalk virus, which are the example of non-enveloped viruses. So, shape of viruses, most animal viruses are roughly in a spherical in shape. Certain rabies virus is an example, is a bullet shape. Ebola virus is a filamentous virus in a shape. Pox virus is a brick shape. Tobacco mosaic virus is a road shape. So we can see here, these are the road shape virus, right? The spherical virus, brick shape, tadpole shape, bullet shape, right? The filamentous virus. So we can be seen different type of shape of the virus. Now chemical properties of viral nucleic acid may be extracted by treatment with a detergent or phenol. The viral protein surrounded by this genome is determined. Antigenic specificity of the virus is an envelope virus contain lipid derived from host cell membrane, and some contain enzymes like neuraminidase in influenza virus and retrovirus in an envelope. Resistance, they are the heat labile in a nature and inactivated within second at 56 degrees Celsius in a and minutes at 37 degree and day at 4 degrees Celsius they can be inactivated. And stable at low temperature for long-term storage, they are kept frozen at -70 degree or the lyophilization, and all viruses are disrupted under alkaline condition. If we want, these are the important for the laboratory diagnosis. If we want to diagnose, we sample collected and transport, we should be maintain the temperature. Otherwise, there is a deviated inner result. They are inactivated as sunlight, UV rays and ionizing radiation, so we can be use UV rays also for the cleaning purpose. Phenolic solution are only weakly virucidal. More active antiviral disinfectant are oxidizing agent, and chlorination of the drinking water may be useful in a diarrhea also. And action of the lipid solvent are limited to envelope viruses. Now, how they multiply. So there is a 6 steps for the phases of the viral replications, which are, one is the attachment, entry, uncoating, synthesis of the viruses, assembly, and the release is the final step. So over here, attachment is the adsorption of the virus to the susceptible host cell. Then they enter into the cell of the virion or its nucleic acids. They are penetrate. Then uncoating is a stripping of envelope and capsid. So nucleic acid release into the host cell. Then synthesis of the virus nucleic acid, different particles, and a protein by cell metabolism is redirected by the virus. Then assembly of the capsid and packaging of the viral genome into new variants. So single variants. So mutations may be there in this step. And release of the mature variant from the host cell by the rupture or cell death. So here we can be seen, these are the virus structure, right? These are DNA around the virions. So they will be attachment first, will be their absorption. After that they will be penetrate inside, only genome will be entered inside and protein coat remain outside of the cell, right? After that uncoating and synthesis of the nucleic acid and the protein over here, they will be synthesized. Then this protein and surrounding structure will be make one of the assembly and packing. So here we can see, and next it will be released after the lysis of the cell or the rupture of the wall of the host cell. Okay, so again this will be infected to the another cell. So these are the steps. So now we will discuss one by one. Is the attachment of the virion to host cell is a highly specific. They require complementary receptor on the surface of the susceptible host and its infecting virus. So first, for the infectivity, they require the complementary receptor. This should be must there for the infecting. Receptor include protein, carbohydrate, glycoprotein, lipid, lipoprotein, or complexes are required. The attachment of the virus to its host cell result in a changes to both virus and cell surface that penetrate the, they facilitate the penetration. So there will be the certain changes onto the cell wall. Then permissive cell, they are the host cell that allow the complete replication cycle of the virus to occur in a cell. Example is the influenza virus and glycoprotein receptor, HIV and CD4 receptor is a important on a host cell. Poliovirus, there is a presence of a lipoprotein receptor. So these both are compulsory for the attachment. Then after attachment, there is the penetration. Due to the rigidity of the bacterial cell wall, only nucleic acid is introduced intracellularly. Right? Surrounding structure will be not entered. Okay. In case of animal, whole virus is introduced. This is important. And virus particles are engulfed by the viroaxis. Then uncoating is a stripping of the virus from its outer layer and capsid and effected by the action by the lysosomal enzyme of the host cell. So lysosomal enzyme of the host cell is also important, and in pox virus uncoating is a two-step process which include removal of outer coat by the lysosomal enzyme and releasing of inner core into the cytoplasm. So over here pox virus there is a different inner step of uncoating. Then biosynthesis, when they enter inside of the cell, biosynthesis will be started. So it includes synthesis of the nucleic acid, capsid and various enzymes. Both three will be prepared inside. So site of viral synthesis depend on the type of virus, which type of virus is there. Most DNA viruses synthesize their nucleic acid in the host cell nucleus except pox virus. And most RNA viruses synthesize their component in the cytoplasm except also myxo and some paramyxo and retroviruses. So this process consists of the transcription of messenger RNA from the nucleic acid, translation of the messenger RNA into early proteins, then replication of viral nucleic acid and synthesis of the late or structural proteins. This step will be included into the biosynthesis. So 6-class de novo replication mechanism done by the Baltimore in 1970. Class is a double-stranded DNA which are enter the nucleic acid and use host cell enzyme for the transcription. Extracted DNA from this is infectious. In adenovirus, partially double-stranded DNA is completed by the viral DNA polymerase inside host cytoplasm, and the mature DNA is then moved into the nucleus to be transcribed by the host transcriptase. In a matter of pox virus, there is applicated in cytoplasm from a messenger RNA using polymerase contained in a virion itself, and DNA of it is not infectious. In a class 2 classification is a single-stranded DNA moves into the nucleus and is converted into the duplex form, and transcription is by host enzyme. In a class 3, double-stranded RNA is transcribed to messenger RNA by a viral polymerase into the class 3. And into the class 4, single-stranded RNA positive strain itself is act as a messenger RNA. Okay, so over here single-stranded act as a messenger RNA directly translated into the protein and infects itself. So these are the Baltimore classifications. Class 5 is a single-stranded RNA. Negative strand is over here. Polarity is opposite to messenger RNA, having on RNA polymerase for messenger RNA transcription. Extracted nucleic acid which is not infectious. In a class 6, retrovirus is a replicative strategy. Over here is a single-stranded RNA. Negative sense RNA is a DNA is a hybrid in form. And double-stranded DNA is integrated into the host cell chromosomes, lead to the transformation of the cell and develop neoplasia. Then 5th step will be the maturation. So after the biosynthesis, it will be mature inside of the cell. So non-enveloped virus are present intracellular is a fully developed virion, whereas in enveloped virus only nucleic acid is complete. So these are the difference. And envelope are derived from the host cell. Virus-specific antigen also has its role. Adenovirus assembly takes place in a host cell nucleus or cytoplasm. Herpes and adenovirus assemble in a nucleus. Picorna and pox virus are assembled in a cytoplasm. And last stage will be the release from the host cell, which are the disintegrations. The naked virus causes the host cell lysis, and they can be released by the budding. Is the envelope virus will be released by the budding. So budding virus do not necessarily kill the cell. Thus, some budding virus may be able to set up a persistence. So these are the very good picture over here. These are the recognition over here. There is the receptors are there, then there is a viropaxis. So this second step will be the attachment. After attachment there is the penetration, right? Penetration के बाद उसका uncoating हो जाएगा. Uncoating के बाद there will be the this will be the release. So biosynthesis will be stunted. Is a transcription, right? Protein synthesis, replications, and then assembly. The protein inhibitors are there over here, and then after they will be the release by the budding or the lysis. So these are the one-step growth curve of the viral replications. These are the one of the early stage and then mature in a stage. So there is the early enzymes, nucleic acid and protein coat surrounding, and they become a mature. Okay, so these are the one of the latent period are there, and assembly and release. Okay, so lag phase will be there. So virus added over here. So these are the one of the graph. So now eclipse phase. So this is also important. Is from the stage of penetration till the appearance of the mature daughter virion, the virus cannot be demonstrated inside the host cell. This period is known as the eclipse phase. Right. So over here, genome replications, assembly virus. So we also seen over here. These are the lag period. This will be the after maturations. Over here there is the maturation and virus will be released. So intracellular virus or the extracellular viruses. So time hours is approximately 15 to 16 hours. Now in a biosynthesis and finish the replication cycle, there may be some are the abnormal replicative cycles are there. So over here one Magnus phenomena are there. So when cells are infected with a high dose of influenza virus, high agglutinin titer but low infectivity is seen due to the production of non-infectious daughter cell. Right. Second is the abortive infection, which are the virus infection in some cells does not lead to production of the infection progen because of defective maturation or assembly or no release of the progeny. So it's the abortive infections. Then defective virus. Okay, so viruses which are genetically deficient and incapable of producing infectious daughter virion without the helper activity of the another virus. So example is the hepatitis D virus, which are the defective virus. Now viral assay. So the content can be assay in a two ways. One is the total particle count and second is the infectious virion assay. Right. So total particle count into the electron microscope counted directly. Virus suspension can be mixed with known concentration of the latex particle. Now number of virus particle in the suspension is calculated from the ratio between the virus and latex particle under the electron microscope. Another is a heme agglutinations. With heme agglutination letting virus quantitation is done by the determination of the heme agglutination titers. Advantages which are the very simple technique and disadvantages are less sensitive. 10^7 influenza virion are required to produce microscopic agglutinations. Second is the infectious virion assay, which is used to measure infectiousness. So quantile assay is do not enumerate the infectious particle but only indicate the presence or absence of the infectious virus. So over a method is a serial dilution of the virus suspension and inoculated into the animal, embryonated egg and tissue culture. Okay, so it will be inoculated into the animal, egg and tissue culture. Endpoint used for the infectivity titration are the death of the animal, heme agglutination in a allantoic fluid or the appearance of the CPE in a cell culture. So the virus titers is a 50% infectious dose ID50s. The highest dilution of the virus suspension that would produce an effect in a 50% inoculated animal, embryonated egg or tissue culture. Then quantitative infectivity assay to measure number of viable infectious virus particles in a suspension and is similar to the estimation of viable count of bacteria by the colony counting. So over here we can be identify the plecuases. Viral suspension is inoculated into confluent monolayer of the culture cell in a bottle or petri dish. After allowing time for the absorption, the monolayer is covered with the agar gel to ensure that the spread of progeny virion is confined to immediate vicinity of the infected cell. And each virus particles give rise to localized focus of the infected cell, which is known as a plecu. It can be seen with the naked eye. Each plecu is indicative infectious virus. And then plecu titer equal to the infective titer. And then POC assay, which each POC on a CM arises from a single virus particles, which is a counted letter on which represent the number of virus present in the inoculum. Then how we classify? So DNA virus will be classified. I also told you double stranded, single stranded, and complex. In a double stranded, it is divided into envelope and naked, right? Envelope virus is a herpes viridia and hepatina, and non-envelope virus maybe the circular or linear. So in a circular is a pepovirus, and linear example is adenovirus. In a single stranded, it is envelope virus and parvovirus, which are the single stranded envelope virus. Complex, the non-envelope virus are pox viridia. So lots of examples will be there. So here, Zika parvovirus, hepatinavirus, papovirus. So these are the example of the classification of the viruses. Then RNA virus, which are the single stranded positive strand, the envelope or non-envelope. So in a envelope is a Toga virus, coronavirus, and retrovirus, and non-envelope virus is picornavirus and calcivirus. Same single stranded negative sense is the envelope is a orthomyxo, paramyxo, rhabdovirus, banyavirus, arenavirus, and filovirus, which are the example of single stranded envelope negative in sense arenavirus. Double stranded virus, which are the non-envelope, and Rio viridia is the example of the arenaviruses, right? The picture of different now viral genetics also there is the genetic modifications can be there, which are one of the example is a mutation. So any changes in the primary nucleotide sequence of the DNA regardless of the consequences of its function. So it's a 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to -8. Lethal is a mutant virus is unable to replicate spontaneous or chemical agents such as the nitrous oxide, hydroxylamine, and 5-fluorouracils can be used. Physical agent with the UV light and irradiation affect virulence, antigenicity, plecu, POC morphology, and resistance can be there after the mutations. Types is the conditional lethal mutant. Permissive conditions such as the temperature sensitive mutants grow at a 28 to 31 degrees Celsius, but not at a higher 37 degrees Celsius. Low virulence attenuated live virus vaccines, the example. And host dependent mutants are able to grow in a one kind of cell type which not infected by the wild strain. Then interaction between the virus. There is a recombination. So between two different viruses which infect the cell simultaneously. So these are the recombination. Exchange of nucleic acid and formation of the hybrid is known as a recombinant virus. And mainly it is seen into the DNA virus. Then reassortment, which is in virus with a segmented genome. Single cell is infected with the two related virus. There is an exchange of the segment. Right? So influenza, banya, arenavirus are the example of the reassortment. Then reactivations. When cell is infected with the active and inactive virus, recombination take place. So there is a cross reactivations are there. So example is a new epidemic strain not able to grow in an egg with standard laboratory strain grow well in an egg. Progeny strain having an antigenic character of the epidemic strain and growth character of the standard strain used for the vaccine preparations. Then interaction between viral gene product is a phenotypic mixing and genotypic mixing. So phenotypic mixing there is a when infection by the two different virus in a same cell. Progeny virus having a genome of one and capsid of the other partial or the completely. So transcapidations are there. So they are not stable and on subsequent virus progeny contains single type only. Then genotypic mixing, more than one complete genome accidentally surrounded by a single capsid. So they are also not stable and one subsequent passage two kind of viral progeny form. Then complementation. See, the one virus provides gene product to second virus which is defective. This allows second virus to replicate. The example is the adenovirus is a defective and can't grow on a simian cell. So the SV40 can grow in a monkey cell. Allow the growth of the adenovirus. Okay, so thank you.